Hello, Soul Family. My name is Adrian. Welcome to the Caution Man in Progress YouTube channel. It has been over a year since I've recorded anything, and I want to jump back in it and go through the process of what has happened over this last year and why I hesitated to continue with this channel as the person I was a year ago. But before I do, just allow me a few moments and join me perhaps to settle into myself, into our hearts. I have a desire to do this unscripted, so I ask for your forgiveness as I stumble through my words or as I work through the processes in my head to develop the skill sets to speak my truth unabated, uninterrupted, and without worry. Archangel Gabriel asked, and I invite you forward today to help open up my throat chakra so that I may speak my truth eloquently, so that my words may fall upon the ears that those who choose to listen in a way that is loving, honest, and authentic. Creator, I ask that you open my heart. I ask that you guide my ego to a backseat position, one of just observance, so that I may flow the messages from my heart uninterrupted. There is no worry and there is no filter, and that I may allow this message to be received and however it needs to be received by those listening. I love you and I thank you for the presence in my life. It is difficult for me not to have an ego take over, where I want to craft the message and each word as they come so that they may be a accumulating or compounding story of significance, and they say something profound, and it is a constant interruption from what it is my heart says. I started this YouTube channel well over a year ago with the hopes to speak my truth, to learn myself, to use these videos as video evidence and diaries for me as I am on this confusing and somewhat and sometimes very frustrating journey of life. I really enjoyed and I felt excitement as I was creating the videos, and I observed something in myself that made me uneasy to continue. I observed the ego presence within my videos, the need to be received, the worry about criticism, the need to control the words that are coming out of my mouth so that I may have profound impact, as if I am some sort of teacher worth listening to. And at the same time, I had a lot of anger. I still do. For a lot of different things. Anger I was given as a child. Anger that was fostered throughout my childhood through the hypocrisy and the unconsciousness in which the environment in which I was raised. The anger for how I grew up, how I lived this life through the place of do what you're told, follow the rules, be the nice guy, and everything will work out. You will achieve everything it is you want. And I've said this in other videos, on the outside, it looked like I had everything. 2.5 kids, the white picket fence, the great job. And on the inside, on the inside, it told a much different story. And then the anger for how my life and family life abruptly ended, and the realization of the relationship dynamics in which I was in was completely opposite to the ones in which I believed I was in and trying to foster. Now, family, I do not absolve myself from where I am at my life. I do not sit here and claim victim or others have perpetrated wrongs upon me and therefore I am where I am. No, I am a 100% co-participant. And everything that happened in my life is my responsibility for it. How I feel, how I act, how I respond, how I carry myself. I was a co-participant in the driver's seat to manifest what it was some of the worst things that ever happened to me. And I realized that those things happened as I was holding them true in my mind as fears each and every day. And I would do everything in my power to address those fears, but yet those are the only things I really held to be true, that those fears exist. And guess what, friends, family, they came true. And as I've been, the last 5 years, opening myself up like a can of sardines, sometimes very uncomfortable, sometimes with a foul smell for the things I uncover, I started creating these videos and I noticed my ego. Oh, I want viewership and I want engagement, and this is making me feel important and special. And it came with a sense of alarm, as this felt like a pattern that I was going to continue externalize my power. And what I really want to do is focus on my internal power and feed my soul, live through my heart. And so in this past year, I've had a lot of counter vibrations, or you call it demons, or trauma come out, where that anger was fed in a system of a man going through divorce, feeling that I am guilty until proven innocent, feeling that I owe the world around me, that I owe an ex, but yet it felt like there was no acknowledgement or appreciation for all of the sacrifice, all of the work, all of the steadfastness that I did. Yes, not perfect, 100% have my own traumas, my own atrocities, and yet each and every day I lived by a compass bearing for others, for my family. And as I was going through the divorce process, that anger became prominent in me. And I did not want to record videos in a state of ego, in a state of lower emotion, of anger. I desire to release these messages from the heart. And yes, emotion is part of life. Yes, you will hear anger in my voice, sadness, confusion, frustration, joy, happiness. I desire to show that to you. My desire is not to live by it and allow it to control me. I did not want to foster an army of disenfranchised people, mostly men, into my anger. Did not want to rise up and create a community in that emotion. Look around this, family. That is what the systems are designed for. The news cycle is not to make you feel good. It's not to follow your truth, but to enrage you, to force you to pick sides. I, in my meditation, knew that this constant anger, this constant wanting to fight the system in which oppresses us, I knew could only perpetuate one thing. It's the exact thing that I would be fighting against. I wanted to do something different. don't want to fight. What you resist persists, so I accept, I allow. I went into the divorce proceedings with one goal, and that was to stay balanced within myself, to feel love for myself, to offer a surrendering and a faith to God, the Creator, that they will allow me, if I can hold this frequency, to ride this storm and have it blow me to the shores, to those beautiful places in which I want to be, both energetically and physically. As you can see around me, a lot has changed. My environment looks completely different than a year ago. In that process of going through the divorce and seeing what I worked so hard, again, around money and security, seemingly be drained away from me, I had to surrender and be okay and explore that even if all of my money and all of my security is stripped away today and I am pushed into bankruptcy, I will be okay. Leaning into faith that I am taken care of, and that as long as I hold true in which I want in my life, it has nothing, no choice but to be called forth. Call it the quantum, call it manifestation, call it belief. It was very difficult because I felt like I was, again, externalized to others, letting others down when I haven't been recording my truth, crafting my message. I've decided that what really feels true to me is to speak in the moment. I painstakingly go over messaging and I write notes of what I want to say and I craft it, maybe not every word, but I did not like the way those were coming across, curated, controlled. Trying to live authentically as me has been a very difficult process, as I am a recovering people pleaser. I worry too much about the words out of my mouth, how they made others feel, and if they are upset, and how that would reflect back to me my internal beliefs. I am a monster, there is something wrong with me, I'm not deserving of love. A lot of those. But that is the gift in life, friends. If you see all around you the things you do not like, it is because within you those things exist. Within me those things exist. And the only way away from them is through those emotions. So I am here today completely unscripted. Yes, there's a fear that I have to breathe into. My words were not perfect. That is okay. Over the past year, really, is to give up the fight. I do not want to fight. I don't want to fight for my right, for the wealth that I've created. I don't want to fight for my right to be father. I am a father. I am abundant and wealthy, no matter the dollars in my bank account. I am a loving father regardless whether my children choose to be with me or not. That is a major shift in my life when my youngest daughter suddenly and abruptly pulled back her relationship. Family, out of all the things that I've endured, that one came close to destroying me. And it was also one of the biggest gifts I have ever received. It shook the cobwebs loose, gave me a what am I doing moment. I'm still living for others. And this miserable father just around the corner, wanting more time with my kids and receiving less and less. Fighting for my right, fighting to be seen. And at the same time perpetuating the exact thing that is. What you resist persists. I spent hours in learning about parental alienation and coercive control, and I understand the mechanisms, but the solutions are not obvious. Much of what is taught and said is to fight for your right, fight for your time. Friends, I have a belief. You look in countries that have warred for generations. What is the next generation to come? More war. They're warring so long that they don't have a clear understanding of why they're at war. It's just hatred. And I could foster all of these emotions through the reordering of my life, the loss of family, going from a father archetype, just doing everything for the family, to using the family and the kids to hurt me the deepest. And I had a choice. What you resist persists. What do I want to persist? Love. Oh. And number one, I need to love myself. Flaws and all. And that has been a long, hard road, I tell you. Alright, so that's the preamble. Very long, 16-minute preamble, family. In that year, an incredible amount of change has occurred. As I acknowledged all of what I just spoke about, and I had made conscious decisions in how I want to move forward, and that is heart center. That is me first. Take care of me, because the more I love me, the more I can pour the love into those around me, the more I can create the beautiful life that it is that I want to live on my back nine. Golfing reference. I have proven to myself that I can create and bring forth all of my fears and make them true. So I know the opposite. As everything in life, there's always an equal opposite. If you believe all of one thing, flip the coin, friends, and examine the underside. That is understanding, that is life, that is tolerance, that is authenticity. So this past year, what has happened? I got through and almost right to the finish line of the divorce process. I released energetically my fear around money. I stepped into the understanding that I needed to change and wanted to go and strongly move in the direction that Adrian, for the first time, was really driving. I want to go in the direction that lights this heart up. And it took a while to start to feel what lights me up. And those nice people pleasers, those nice guys out there will most likely resonate with this. When you give to others before you ever give to yourself, it is difficult to call in what it is that you, ourselves want and need in the moment. So as I called that forward and I accepted that and I went into this process with faith in the Creator and that it would all work out for me, and my only job was to manage my nervous system, to stay in a place of love. And the process just started to fall into place. I decided, well, when my daughter stopped showing up, it rocked me. So number one, I put myself forward. I took a medical leave of absence, allowing me to go fully within and take care and allow me to examine and to release and express the emotions that were coming up, to honor them and always come back to a place of love for myself. And as I did that, the process and things just started to fall in place. I decided it was time to let go of my house. And I spent with my partner a couple of months fixing and touching everything that I have acquired over the last 17 years and choosing. The gift was to choose whether to let it go or to keep it. And friends, as I let more and more go and I allowed it to flow through me, the lighter and more excited I felt. I gave much of my stuff away for free. Had a store we called the Free Store out in the front yard. And that experience alone was so heart-touching as I met people in need, as I met lovely folks from the neighborhood, as I shared my story with them. I could feel the movement, the love, the compassion in both of us. Much of the stuff I had sitting idle is now sitting in families that need it, that have an appreciation and gratitude for what I had in storage, gathering cobwebs. And I saw the alignment between my stuff, the baggage in the physical, and my emotional baggage. And as I released my grip on the physical baggage, the emotional baggage was starting to become easier to release. I set an intention that the house would sell in a day, and it did. It was listed for 1 day. Then it was the next big chore of packing it all up, and that flowed seamlessly. Each and every day honoring myself, not pushing past my own limits like I used to just to get the task done, but to honor what it is I felt and taking steps each and every day to honor those feelings. And it worked out exactly as it should, as I wanted it to, without trying to control every step of the way. During that process, I still didn't know what I was going to do. I still was in a job that no longer resonated with me. So grateful for the experiences I had for years, 20 years. But yet, each and every day there felt like it was soul-sucking, because I no longer carried the belief that I was doing something good for the future generation. That was the largest, and I'm still reordering my value system, the largest change over the last 5 years. Many of the belief systems I had and the things that I would hold true and work for fell away, have fallen apart, have eroded through examination of my heart and mind. It is freeing and at the same time unnerving to become untethered from value systems. There's a point in time where what are my values? What are my beliefs? And I am reordering them and rebuilding myself today even. While I was packing up the house, I had one evening of really deep meditation. And the phrase, "the time is now," just played on repeat, and the time is now, the time is now. So I asked Source, the time for what? The time to live, the time to do what lights your heart up. So I did. I had a partner who had sold everything she had. She bought a converted bus and wanted to travel the world, experience and meet people. And I resisted that at first because I had to justify the roots that I had put down. Well, I can't do that because I have these obligations and I have this job. But really deep down inside, I had a very similar passion. The excitement, the thought of travel and adventure, a time for me to experience the world while I reordered my values and belief systems to be able to observe the values and belief systems of other cultures, other towns, other communities. Time is now, and that's just repeated, and then by the end of the meditation I made a decision and I felt firm, like just something fell in place and it cannot be removed. The time is now. The time is for me to move, to quit my job. It does not fit. I cannot, no matter how I try to make it fit, it is not fitting, and I am allowing my life force to be drained in a direction I already know in my heart was not the direction for me. And it was only because societal programming and belief systems as well, you spent 2 decades, paying into a pension. You're so close. And without a divorce at 55, it would have been full pension. With a divorce, I'm working into my 60s, maybe 70s. That dream was no longer valid, but it felt safe. Now you got benefits and a pension. It felt safe to hold myself steady. But it felt soul destroying in that safety. So after that decision, I left the safety of the pension, the high-paying job, the benefits, and now I'm living in uncertainty. It comes with the fear, but the excitement far outweighs the fear. Each day that I have lived thus has been not one day that is the same. And that feels like my soul is expanding, helping me to reorder my values, to recover from a life of serving outside of me, to build something that looked like success. And yet in my mid-40s, I was lost. I still feel lost and untethered at times, and my technique is to come back to me, to do something loving for me. In those days I feel anxiety and fear. Take a breath and come into the now. I have everything I need. Every time I allow myself into the now, I am fully taken care of. I am safe. I am happy. I am cared for. And that is the story, the narrative that I want to continue to hold true. Even if everything is stripped away, I can foster safety, confidence, peace in the greatest of storms. It is not easy. It does take dedication and effort at times. And when it feels hard, it's softening into love. What is something that is good for me? Before I do anything for the world outside of me, or this one, when the external world causes emotions that I am discomforted in, that I dislike, that I would like to run from, I have to catch myself and own those emotions. You did not make me mad. You did not make me frustrated. You did not make me sad. I allowed those emotions to be what is inside of me that you have mirrored, that I have now been given the gift of examination and reflection. Woo, I tell you what, that is a very difficult one there. Accountability for everything I feel and see in my life, it's for me to account for. If there is something I don't like in you, it's because it's within me. We are all part of the same. We are all part of creation. We are all sparks of the Creator, experiencing life in every single way, and we all have value. Just existing. What a lesson, what a belief that I am building within myself, that I feel so much empowerment, personal empowerment. So over this last year, I have quit a job. I have lost connection with some family members. I have held myself to be the most important thing in my life. I am going after what excites me, what lights me up, knowing that if I do that, the ones, my children, I'll just say it straight out, my children, when and if and when they decide to be with me, will see a man that is fully embodied life, not one in which is living a half a block away, mired in depression, sacrificed everything for what is not here. The world really shows you. Society says if you don't fight to be father, then you were a deadbeat. I've had to really lean into this deadbeat dad. That was a fear all of my life in raising kids, because there was very little stories that resonate with me that I see, because it's a mirror of me, of celebration of men and masculinity and what good we do for this world. I see and I absorb the opposite, so I hold that to be true. Us men must be a scourge. So I will do everything in my power to ensure that the world thinks otherwise of me. And my children especially, I will dedicate all my time and energy. I am not a deadbeat dad. I am a good father. I must prove it to the world outside. And here I am at the end of a whole chapter of my life, so easily fit in a box of deadbeat dad, piece of shit husband, so easily. It was a reflection of I didn't even know what to value as myself as a man. And you can feel the anger and the frustration from me as I speak these words, as I am still reordering my beliefs. What is it within me that I shall celebrate, that the society values me for? And I'll wait a lifetime for society to value me. If I do not value me, I will only see what it is I believe. Accountability. Wow. An emotion bubble wells up and comes out me with passion and intensity. I love and I value myself, my strength, my masculinity, my emotional intelligence, my highly emotional being. I allow myself to feel what it is I do not want to feel. And the more I practice it, the lot easier it is to feel and release. It's not easy to feel. It's not easy to feel angry. It's not easy to feel no value. It's not easy to feel like my gender is the problem. It's not easy to feel like a deadbeat dad. As you can see, that word still, it's pain, it gets stuck in my throat. Gabriel, thank you for highlighting that. You'll see me speak to Gabriel throughout my process of my 5 years of really opening up, closing myself down. My journey in spirituality was raised highly religious to the point where I rebelled and wanted nothing to do with religion, with God, nothing, because I saw the hypocrisy, the control, the fear. I saw the human flaw, the humanness within these churches. Each church was not the same. It was depending on who the leadership was. I was highly traumatized by organized religion, to the fact that I went all the way to the other side. I was like, I'm a man of science. Science reigns supreme. All the way to the other side. And then as I have matured and have really faced the things in my life, I realized 20 years of science, guess what? No answers, really, just more questions. I don't know where it begins or where it ends. It's like a snake eating its own tail. Round and round and round we go, waiting for the answers, so you'll never live long enough to receive them. Same with religion, externalizing one power through a priest, a preacher, a pastor. Where does it begin? Where does it end? I do not know. And as I've developed the relationship with myself and what do I feel, my spiritual nature, when I really allowed acceptance of who I am, well, wait a minute, I believe that I'm an empath. Well, what the hell is an empath? Why do I feel these emotions when I'm in groups of people or around certain people? Why do I feel certain people over others? Why do I feel emotions from others like they are mine? Started me down when my world fell apart, I had two choices. It was to check out, and I tell you what, I strongly have examined the checkout option, or to level up. And I didn't know how to level up, and thank God put in my awareness is to first sit still with yourself. That is task number one. Can you do that? And the answer overwhelmingly at the beginning was, fuck no. I can't sit with myself. It's uncomfortable. I can't turn my brain off. I'm not doing it right. That, my friends, that family, was the gift from God. As I dedicated that sit with myself, and I tell you, it took a year of really discomfort and trying different techniques until I started to finally get what it is I was doing. And we all have our own journey, so mine is not maybe right for you, and how I got here might not be right for you, but the first thing for you to do is to start somewhere and to learn. And for me, it was like, holy shit, I can't actually sit still. My mind is like cancer eating itself, just shit talking and criticizing every moment of my life. And then I thought, well, to be good at meditating, turn it all off, right? No, you don't turn off your mind, just like you don't turn off your kidneys, your heart, your pancreas. It is all part of the whole. Your mind exists. It is important. It is to quiet and to accept and to surrender and allow it to be. Allow those thoughts to come up. See them, observe them. As I observed more and more in meditation, I started to see themes in which my mind works. Themes in which I could actually take control of and change. If I thought one thing, well, I can also think another. When I started to see the same themes come up, I said, well, there is a starting process for me to begin a journey of discovery for myself, to free myself, not from the atrocities and the chains of other men and other systems, but from me, my own mind. That is the shackles in which we all wear. We are so distracted by what's around us. We blame them and we blame this, and we see this news outlet and we see that outlet, and we're like, I'm this tribe and I'm that tribe and I'm this party and I'm that party, and not at all looking at what is it in me. What is in me that I believe that it's upholding me, that is shackling me to a life that I am fighting against? That was the beginning journey. And then from there, it was developing a relationship with my inner self. I started to realize there was multiple consciousnesses within me. And let me try to explain. It's not in such like it is schizophrenia where things talk to me. It is, I have a thinking mind, an ego. Okay? That's one. That ruled my world, number one. That's all I thought it was. And then as I started to observe, I'm like, wait a minute, there's the ego doing things and thinking things, and then there's this observer that is watching over the ego, and all of which is happening. I'm like, oh, the observer, and then the ego, and then there is this other piece. As I started to meditate deeply, is like the soul, my inner being. It's like my God source connection. When you peel away all of the external layers of this humanness, that is what is me. It exists after this body. It existed before this body. It will continue to exist as my consciousness. So, ego, the observer, the soul. And then as I was looking at trauma and healing, it's like the inner child. We've all gone through things, even if we thought we had the greatest childhood, we've all experienced something that has wounded the inner child. And by that I mean, when our inner child at those stages have been wounded, we create and stack belief systems. I am not good enough. The world is not safe. I cannot trust adults, whatever that might be. I cannot trust myself. I'm ugly, I'm unworthy. And we create those belief systems from a wounded child state. That inner child exists to us. It is the undercoding, the programming so deeply buried within ourselves that actually create the reality in each and every day. Is those wounds, traumas, and belief systems that we no longer see. They're so buried down in the code, We have never examined them, and it's not until you sit with the discomfort, learn to love the pain. Oh, just that statement alone, I would have just resisted. Like, just screw you, you don't know what you're talking about. Love the pain. Who loves pain? Well, it's the softness and allowing the pain to be, allowing the lower emotions to be, and allow the observer to examine, where do they come from? What are they saying? How does it make me feel? Allow the feeling to wash through me, express it in a manner that is good for me. All of the emotions we have are our compass bearings, and they're all important. It is not until you start to ignore them, shove them down, don't express them, try to change them, that they become a problem. Then we become disconnected from the thing that which actually guides us to the life and creation that really serves us. I shut my emotional center down. I was told myself, and this is another inner child wounding, I'm too sensitive. I'm too emotional. So therefore, I started to not express my feelings to many people. And guess what emotion replaced all of the emotions I shut down? Because it was another thing that I saw society saying, hey, you're a man, you can't cry, you can't do this, but yet you can show anger and you can't show anger. It's the emotion we expect from you and the emotion we'll ridicule you for. It was the emotion that is the only thing that will make you feel comfortable, powerful, I should say, protected, and it will be what you are punished for. As I started to open myself up and express those, I still have troubles allowing myself to cry. And I work on that, and I try to build the safety within myself to allow those emotions to be. I tell you what, family, I can cry in tears of joy, tears of love and movement when I see humanity being kind to one another. But the inner child wounding, the inner child that sometimes just wants to sit on the floor and cry the feelings from my tear ducts, that one is still a bit constricted. So I started all this, you hear me talking to my guides. So I started in meditation. I started to observe within me that I am multiple layers. I'm not just this ego, multiple layers. And then as I sat even deeper and started to look at what non-physical is, you know, really we think that everything we can see and touch, you know, I could touch this, I can see, therefore it is real. When you really start to look into it, and this is your journey, and I can't take the time today to explain. When you start to look into it, the non-physical, the energetic side of all of this is far greater than what it is that we can see, touch, taste, smell. That is the ghost in the room. So as I experienced non-physical, I started to have experiences, connections, consciousnesses that have come to me, and Archangel Gabriel is one of them. And I believe it's because my voice, something I've been gifted with, and it worked through me through my careers, and it worked for me to make the job look better. And really now I'm using my voice to speak my truth, to allow my personal empowerment into this world. And it's one that maximally hits my fear of being accepted, being criticized, being told I am wrong, I'm a monster, I'm all of these belief systems that I have been sitting into and releasing. And another frustration is you might identify a belief system within you. It's one thing to know it, it's the other thing to reprogram and release it. And then it's another thing to bring in the new belief system. These are layers of evolution, and I have an impatience with myself. I know this about myself, so why do I still feel the feelings that are caused by the beliefs, even though I've articulated the belief that I no longer want? multi-layered approach. I have to go right back to that inner child. I have to pick that young Adrian up by the hand and say, I love you. I will protect you. I am sorry for not allowing you to be seen. I am sorry for what it is. You had no responsibility or cause for what you've experienced. It was not your fault. It was not my fault. You need to release that. Friends, family, I tell you, I would not change not one day, even though I've gone through some of the most painful things I have ever endured in the last 10 years, the most painful I have never understood the depth of suffering, emotional suffering, if it wasn't for those 10 years, and I would not trade not one thing. There are days where I get on myself. I'm like, I wish this didn't happen, wish that didn't happen. But when the observer, when my soul comes out and says, and Adrian, if those things were not to have happened, you would not be where you are today. Would you give that up? And the true answer is no. True answer is no. I have more myself than I have ever been in my entire life. So here I am. Sold my house, quit my job, moved into a bus with a partner that God has placed in my life. Now, relationships are never easy, and we work through daily to honor ourselves and this relationship. I love her deeply. The gift was been given that I can lock arm in arm with someone of like mind to go and recklessly live our lives, to just lean into the fear and go for the excitement. And here we are. I'm in Mexico, Baja, California. We're on a couple of months of travel right now, and so many lessons, so many exciting days of new have come forth. I'm so grateful, and I still wrestle with the same bullshit I did when I had a life that didn't serve me. Running away, changing scenery and environment will not change what is inside of us. That is only our work to do. So it's been bothering me that I haven't been speaking my truth, it's been bothering me, if I'm truthful, that I haven't continue to move forward. Just keep moving forward. Even though I am moving forward, I know that this period of time is a period of rest, reorder, rebuild, and there's the ego part of me. What you're not doing, what are you going to do for work? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And the answer is, I don't know. And the answer is, I trust and have faith that God, Creator, has a greater plan for me. And that the way to follow that plan is to be service to myself, to be cognizant of how I feel, and to really, really lead my life in the most loving state that I can achieve based at the level I am. So it took me over a year to finally get back and post something to my channel, to release something into the ether, into the digital world. I don't know if you're listening to this level, to this length. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and the love that I've imbued into this message, I hope it's comfort to you. If your days are dark, that this might be a little light, that you can do it. You can get through this. It is your life to live. You have the power. You are far more powerful than anybody has let you believe. Please look within yourself. I don't know where you can start. If you're looking for somewhere to sit in silence and observe what it is, and do it enough times, you'll see the patterns in your life. Love yourself so you can love those around you. If you're seeing the external world just continue to enrage and you feel shitty, well, just stop. Shut that down. If the phones are addictive to you, that will become observable within your silence. Shut it off. The news is not good for us. It's doing us no good. Shut it off. Do something loving for yourself today. Go for a walk, go for a bath, sing, dance, work out, cry, hold yourself. Hold space for yourself in your day. So many of us men, we just feel value when we're doing. We gotta do, we gotta be, we gotta do things for other, for family, for job. If I'm not constantly doing something, then I have no value. That is not true. It's a belief that I definitely have, and it's one that is currently really being abrasive, as I'm like, I have no job. What is my value? What is this? My value is to shine my light as bright as freaking possible. And the only one that can dim our light is us. You. It's dimming your light. I am dimming mine. And we can blame the externalized world for all of the shit that's happening. But there's only one person in this equation that can change it. My friend, I'm with you. And if this message causes resistance and you're like, fuck that guy, and you're wrong, you don't know what's happened to me, you're right. Your traumas and your atrocities that have happened to you, you are right. You can tell the story as much as you want to. You are right. You are a victim. You have been victimized, and you can choose to be the victim of your story for each and every day and for the rest of your life and externalize your power. That is your choice. We have free will. Or you can choose personal accountability. I have been victimized, and that has taught me what I do not want. That has allowed me to examine these emotions. That has allowed me to disassemble, to destroy these belief systems that have come from those places. That is the one I choose. And it's a daily and dedicated practice. I don't wake up feeling, great. And I got frustrated with myself. Why is it that one day to the next, it's up and it's down, and oh my goodness. It's because the lesson that I need to learn is not yet being learned. So therefore I need those emotions for me to continue to dive in to what it is that I need to learn. And once I learn it, once we learn it, friends and family, once we learn, oh my God, the whole world lights up. Once I started to learn these lessons, look, I went from sitting in an office job under fluorescent lights, slowly dying day after day, to sitting on a beach, pouring my heart out to you beautiful people. When I'm done here, I can choose to walk the beach and enjoy the sights, to explore what it is. I can choose to go back to my house, to interact with the love of my life, the gift that I've been given because of the things that I have cleared. It is my choice how I want to take the next step. I can choose to sit here in silence for as long as it is, to examine, is there anything that come up? Is the ego going to criticize me for what I said today? It is my choice. That is the power in it. I, at one point in time, were like, screw you! It's not my fault. Maybe not my fault, but it is my power and my accountability that allow me to shift my life. I can't control anybody else. I can only control me. And tell you what, when I started to take ownership of me, I realized that I'm sitting in a room, standing at a table, screaming at the people, love me! And they never will. When the door has no lock on it, I can just choose to get off the table, walk to the door, and find a room with people who light up when I come in. Oh, that's a lesson I still to this day am learning. Friends, if you reflect and see that you're in a room screaming at people to love me and wanting respect and seeing yourself turn into someone you don't like because you're trying to extract the love and respect from those people. Friends, it's easy. It's easy in concept. Walk to the door, open up, and leave. Go find yourself. You will find the rooms where people light up. Honor yourself. Choose you today. If there's anything out of this hour-long message, thank you for being with me for so long. If there's anything, choose you today. What is it? We're taught that's selfish, especially if you're a people pleaser, putting yourself first. Oh my God, how dare we do that? That is my main piece of advice that I will leave you with today, friends, family. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. Feel what those things that you do not want to feel. See yourself. Love yourself. Allow yourself to be. You have value. You have value. Just the way you are, showing up each and every day. You have value. Share it with us. Share your value with the world. Light yourself up and be as bright as you possibly can. And don't worry about the people that criticize you for how bright you are. I love you. I love you because I love me. I accept you because I accept me. I am still and forever in search of my soul family. And if you're with me today, thank you for being a part of that. Thank you for adopting me in to your life, to listen, to share, completely unscripted. I have the emotion of tears coming up, of pride and of fear. How will this be? And I release it. I release it with love. I imbue this message. This is my story, my truth. There's nothing for you to change about yourself. You are perfect just the way you are. I am perfect just the way I am. Love yourself today. Go with peace. I hope that you can find some, just the smallest, if you're in a place of chaos, the smallest breath of peace, you can feel the world. I know. Sit with yourself today. Allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to have value just by being. What's the phrase? We're not humans doing, we are humans being. Human being. In a westernized culture, it is more believed that we are humans doing, do, more. And as I've learned through my life, all of that still does not mean purpose, does not mean sense of value. It is an externalizing our power. And often it benefits someone that is not us. Honor yourself today, and however comes forward. I love you all. Thank you so much for being with me here today. Again, Adrian on Caution, Man in Progress. Go forth and love yourself today.